That's fucking good.
Yeah, that was exceptional.
Oh, yes.
One and all to the K.O.E Nation for a very special Scotch Whisky review here at the K.O.E Nation. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme Phil K.O.E, the lord of the Scottish Highlands no less, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony G. Like, share, subscribe.
This is one we've had to search far and wide for, T.
Yep.
And we finally found it. You know, we've always heard that the great Sir Richard Paterson is also a master blender, but we always get his single malt offerings, so we've never seen how he truly blends across distilleries. Well, now we have that chance with Whyte and Mackay. And yes, I did say that right, actually. Okay. So I'm so looking forward to this. The great Richard Paterson's amazing effort. Now this is twist cap.
Yes.
So we'll still get it though. Hey,
wow.
You know, that was
what a crack.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh my.
This is a International Spirits Challenge 2018 gold medal winner. So not too shabby. This is a blended Scotch.
Product of Scotland.
This is...
I'll let you read the back for the beautiful people.
Very excited
I get to fill my nose.
Triple maturation is the secret behind the award-winning taste of Whyte and Mackay. Firstly, the finest single malt whiskeys, each individually matured for many years, are carefully selected by our master blender. Next, they are combined in sherry cask and matured once again to attain a perfect harmony of flavors. Finally, the blended malts are mixed with aged grain whiskeys and returned to cask to mature even further. This dedication to the art of blending creates an extra smooth and richer tasting whiskey.
So it's sherried single malts mixed with grain whiskeys, which is basically corn. Let's be frank. Which, nothing wrong with that. I'm a corn farmer.
This is going to be an easy...
It imparts a lot of sweetness, especially on the nose.
This is going to be an easy sipper. This is only 40% ABV.
Which is usually what a lot of Richard Paterson's releases are usually at. Like, cask strength is usually got to go through a few extra hoops to get cask. Yeah.
Wow, that is grain heavy for sure, but like... That is perfect with the grain and sherry influence. That is a
A+.
Barber shop pull of two uniquely different scents. Wow. Yeah.
I'm getting sherry. Like you said, there is the grain there.
Like if you took mellow corn and finished it in a sherry cask.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't insult it quite like that because I do get
the best thing Heaven Hill has out there, Phil.
Yes, I know. But we're not talking about Heaven Hill. We're talking about the great Whyte Mackay blended by the great Sir Richard Paterson. My personal whiskey spirit animal. If you were to do a meditation exercise where they say find your spirit animal, there would just be like a little 2-foot tall Richard Paterson. Wow. There it is, black suit. That would be it.
This is really like I can't get past the corn. Like the sherry is there, but that corn is...
Hey.
It's heavy, which I'm fine with.
But it's not like grain, like how... It's more like cornbread.
Yeah, that's fair. This does remind me a bit of the Jameson Distiller's Safe.
Now, for our friends across the pond, cornbread is something we were all raised on.
Oh, yeah, this is near and dear.
Everybody's mama's and grandma's cornbread is just like, that's a family recipe. Well, T, I think we've considered this enough. It's gorgeous on the nose, but I can't wait to see.
Oh, that's dangerous. Wow, that's super easy to drink. Wow.
Yeah. This would also be a good Scotch for people who don't necessarily like Scotch. Like my dad. He hates Scotch, but he would probably enjoy this just because...
Wow.
There's sherry, like you said, there's like a cornbread grain influence.
This tastes exactly how it smells.
which that's rare.
With a bit of oak on the finish.
But anything that involves Sir Paterson does generally, the nose and the palate generally do match.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what you expect from the get-go, and it finishes that way. Yeah, just a little bit of oak on the back end, but it smells.
Yeah, and it gets breadier. The more you smell it, the more you taste it.
Wow, that's delicious. Wow.
Oh my.
Yeah, wow.
Well.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So, Tony, we're going to have to grade this on a few scales.
Yes.
For those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. We're going to grade this as a blended Scotch. As a Scotch, we're going to grade it as a whiskey. Then we're going to grade it by its shelving. And then the secret 5th question. So, Tony, as a blended Scotch, putting this up against all the other blended Scotches, such as Chivas, Johnny Walker, all the well-known blended Scotches out there, how would you rate this on a 5-star scale?
I'm going to give it a 4 because this has a marvelous flavor. If this was a little bit higher ABV, I'd probably go even higher. But I think the nose, the palate, the finish are so inviting. So easy drinking, and like you said, this is versatile enough that even a guy who doesn't like Scotch would probably enjoy this, or a damsel, if you will.
I'm going to give this 4.25 as a blended Scotch because this
I would have gone over if the ABV were higher.
I think the sherry finishing is what put it over for me. But yeah, as a blended Scotch, this is what a blend is supposed to be.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm sticking 4.25. Now,
what's the next scale? I'm going to look something up as you
as
talk about
a Scotch whiskey. This is putting it up against all the blended Scotches, all the single malt Scotches, all the Scotch grain whiskeys. There's a lot of different whiskeys that make up the world of Scotch whiskey. And as a Scotch whiskey, I am going to give this 3.5 because, again, it's a wide world of sports that is Scotch whiskey. And no disrespect to you, Sir Paterson, but I'm thinking of other Dalmors that you have produced that, okay, I got to give them a bit higher. Maybe it's because I'm a touch spoiled. If I had just come into whiskey and had this for the first time, be like, oh my God, 46 stars.
Exactly.
This,
you're right. This is a beginner Scotch.
You give this to some 22-year-old kid who don't know anything, oh man, they're going to think does all Scotch taste like this? No, it doesn't.
Wow, 3.5 is a Scotch.
I know.
I'm gonna go. I hate to agree, but I'm gonna agree. I would have easily gone higher, but again, I come back to the ABV. I feel like this should just be a little bit higher.
I'm generally not as much of a proof snob as you.
Well, I'm not. I usually don't hold it in that higher regard, but this is a bit on the low end scale, and I can't help but think now there is another product under this line. It's called Whyte and Mackay Light, if you can see that. It comes in at 21.5 ABV. Now, that would essentially be like drinking water. So
I wouldn't go quite that far, but it would be optimal for mixing. I'll put it that way.
It would be a mixer. And now, that being said, as a Scotch, the reason I'm sticking with 3.5 is I think you could cocktail this. This would be a cocktail Scotch, and I wouldn't do it per se myself. This would be a marvelous choice if you chose to do something.
For that exact reasons why on the next category of whiskey, I was going to kick it back up a little bit because, yes, this is something you could cocktail with, you could mix it, you could enjoy it on the rocks. This is one you could just, at the end of a long day, just pour yourself a dram. And not have, it's complicated enough to the point where you can nose it and get a good time. But if you're just wanting to have a couple of shots at the end of the day, you're not going to feel guilty about it doing it with a whiskey like this. Okay. And so that's why, as a whiskey, I am going to give this 4 stars.
Okay. As a whiskey, I'm going to give it I love the flavor. I love the nose. I'm going to give it 3.75.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you like it, but you're like, it's just not quite 4 for you. Now, for me, again, it's sherry finished. This is a little more up my alley.
Yeah.
It's got a corn influence, but it's a warm baked cornbread influence, and it's not just like you're chewing on corn flour. So I'm really a big fan of this one. Now, Tony, shelving.
Oh, okay. So this is easily not a bottom shelf whiskey.
Now,
this is probably not a top
unless you just
shelf.
wanted it for easy reach.
Yeah, well, there's that. This is not a top shelf either. So this is definitive middle shelf.
Triple matured. Well,
yeah, it's a blended Scotch.
I gotta agree, it is a middle shelf. Now I gotta ask, USD, US dollar, what did you pay?
That's
for
the
this?
beauty of this one. This one's insanely affordable if you can find it at about $25.
$25. So when this bottle goes empty, this is the secret fifth question. Will you seek it out?
Yes, 100%. Yes, this is a bottle I want to have on hand at all times because it's so easy drinking. The palate's so nice. But if I want a end of the week type drink, this is probably not the first thing I'm going to grab. This is more of a daily drinker. Unfortunately, it's not readily available. So
this is like a great, like, it's been a rainy, hard, muddy Thursday. You just had a rough day. You just need to have a dram that's good, but not so overly complicated. You feel like, no, I need to let it set out for 18 minutes, 1 minute for every minute. Every year it's been aged, and then I need to put in 3 little drops of water just so, and I have to wait until the moon is under the proper equinox, and then I can enjoy the whiskey.
No, you pour this in the glass.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that is where this really stands out as just an approachable whiskey. And yes, I will be seeking a bottle of this. If I ever see one, it's making its way on the shelf.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, if this were just a little bit higher in proof, my ratings would have been much higher. But I'm usually not a snob about the proof, but I feel like just a little bit more.
That is something we're going to have to debate a little further.
Don't change a thing about the palate or the nose.
No. But folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for our review of Whyte and Mackay blended Scotch whiskey. Sir Richard Paterson, you've done it again. Thank you for giving this to us. Thank you for blessing the world with this amazing blended Scotch whiskey. And you just keep doing that voodoo that you do so well. So, folks, I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the quite pleased Tony G. Thanks for